Welcome back to What's Up Stratford via Zoom. Joining me is Jeff Graham, the CEO of Festival Hydro. Jeff, thanks very much for joining me.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me. Appreciate being
So,
here.
well, thank you. You've got two bachelor's degrees, one at McMaster and then one in engineering from Queens, or is it Queens or Brock?
Max, the engineering degree, and physics is for Brock.
In Brock. And then why did you do the physics?
It was something I was really interested in high school and found it very challenging. And yeah, thought it would be something interesting to do and maybe get me a good job, but things worked out a little differently.
I think it worked out great. Let's talk about on Festival Hydro locally. Most people don't know where their power comes from. So, where does our power come from on a local basis?
So, maybe speaking Ontario as a whole to start, about half of Ontario's power comes from nuclear energy, about 25% from hydroelectric generation, and the rest is a mix of natural gas, renewables like solar and wind. Uh, because of Stratford's geographic location, a fair majority of it comes from Bruce Power and the nuclear side.
So, why do we have two power generation stations, one on the north and one on the south end of town?
So those are actually transformer stations, not generating stations. So essentially what they do is they step down the voltage from a transmission voltage, which is either 115 kV or 230 kV, and it steps that down to a distribution voltage, which is around 27,800 volts.
Festival Hydro has literally thousands of kilometers of wire, and there's storm events and old equipment. How do you manage it all?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yes, we have lots of overhead and underground wire and cable that we manage regularly amongst several other asset classes. We typically do some health scoring and things like that on our assets. We have testing programs and use age data and typical useful life results of those assets to make investment decisions. We're constantly doing monitoring and maintenance of our assets and basically put together 5-year plans looking out at where we need to make investments in those distribution system assets.
Now, your team is really highly skilled. So, how are you recruiting and retaining your entire team?
Yeah, Festival Hydro and Rhizome Networks take a people first approach. So we understand that our strongest assets are our people. We look for people inside the industry, but we also include recruiting outside the industry. We're a very diverse, inclusive organization, and we find that having sort of that open-ended approach to looking for uh, very talented people, gives us a wide pool to choose from. And we've had a lot of success with our culture at retaining and recruiting some of the best people in the industry.
And lastly, the distribution grid is way beyond just your network. How do you work with other hydro companies if there's major events like storms go down, sharing people, resources, that type of thing?
Yeah, the industry, I'd say, is a tight-knit community. There are uh, lots of different what we call mutual assistance groups. We belong to one that's Ontario-wide, and under storm scenarios where certain utilities are a little bit overwhelmed and could use some support, we can offer field staff, trucks, vehicles, all sorts of inventory and things like that other of our peers really need in those times. And yeah, we've been lucky. Our infrastructure has held up very, very well. We work very closely with Hydro One. They're all surrounding our territory. We have a great working relationship and always like to collaborate.
That's awesome, Jeff. Thank you very much for joining me. It was great to get plugged in with you. So I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Peter. Appreciate your time.